underneath sentences like "I want to protect female athletes" is a desire to erase trans people. Okay, you love women's sports so much, like name 4 WNBA teams and not the Indiana Fever.
Right.
It's like during the run-up to the election when people were like, well, I'm worried about the economy. You are using the economy as an excuse to mask the real reason that you don't want to vote for Kamala Harris, which is that you would rather be called racial slurs by a white man than call a black woman your boss. Hello and welcome to Hysteria. I'm Erin Ryan.
And I'm Alyssa Mastromonaco.
Alyssa, a new bombshell has entered the villa.
A bombshell?
And by bombshell, I mean war. And by the villa, I mean the Middle East.
I wish people would have gone to his fucking birthday party.
I know. Come on. Can we, next time he throws some big dumb party, let's be like, yay.
MAGA, you did this,
You're
okay?
awesome. Yay.
You showed no fortitude.
Yeah.
You did not take out your lawn chairs and show up at his military parade, and now many people are paying the price.
And now, look what's happened. The Iran nuclear program has been set back literal months.
Months.
Good job. Good job. I wonder how many school lunches were in those bombs that we dropped that didn't really do anything.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. We should just think of like bombs we drop on foreign countries in terms of school lunches that we could be feeding children in America.
It's not bad.
Just thinking. Or like months of paid childcare or, you know, healthcare, whatever.
Better schools.
It's fine. He got to push his buttons and drop his bombs and feel like a big man. Alyssa, congratulations are in order for you.
Quo no mo. Quo no mo.
Part-time New York City residents, I want to offer you my sincere congratulations as a former New York City resident. Congratulations on not selecting a dog shit Democratic mayoral nominee.
Listen, I want to actually give a nice little shout out to Mike Blake, who was one of the many people running for mayor. I have known Blake since 2007. He's a great guy, assemblyman from like the 79th district up in the Bronx. And he also represented last night. And he's a very good guy. And I want to say congratulations to him too.
Well, you know what makes you feel old? When you watch the Olympics and you're like, they're all young enough to be my children. Another thing that makes you feel old is when somebody who's like, you wouldn't even have been in school at the same time, is elected, is the front runner for mayor in New York City. Zoran Mamdani is 33?
33.
Good for him.
He's 33.
Good for him. And you know what? I gotta say, if Times Square hadn't gone total edgelord, I would say that it probably was a fun place to be last night. I also wanted to talk a little bit, it's kind of fallen out of the headlines because of the whole like war in the Middle East and all that, and Trump and the NATO summit and blah, 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 blah. There's always something. But like ICE is still in LA.
Still out there. Yep.
Bothering
Here
people.
too.
Just bothering people. They were in, there's a bar in my neighborhood called the Hermosillo that I actually go to quite a bit. So I'm, and I've run into listeners there, which is funny.
So nice.
Yeah, but outside of the Hermosillo, there's like this big kind of beer garden area, and it's really family friendly. So every Friday, Saturday, Sunday afternoon before it starts getting dark, it's like people with their strollers, people with their kids. It's like parents hanging out. It's a place where there's like families. So last week, a bunch of plainclothes people came in and started harassing women who looked Hispanic. And they were saying they're from the Bureau of Alcohol or whatever, and they were trying to get their IDs and stuff. The bar was like, we didn't know about this. Like, it's fucking crazy. We don't know exactly.
This is all the laws we learned. Entrapment. Like, what the fuck is this?
It's crazy. So we don't, but here's the thing. Like, because ICE is so unprofessional and they don't identify themselves and they just look like a bunch of like gangs of thugs going around kidnapping people, there's still confusion about who those people were. Those people were. They could have been like human traffickers. Like they could have just been like freelance criminals.
Absolutely.
Like we don't know who they were. The bar has put out a statement that's like, we didn't know they were there. Also like, fuck ICE. ICE is not welcome, blah, 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 blah. But like they're just like going around bothering people. I don't know if they were ICE. But we don't know if they were ICE because ICE
That's
is like,
the problem.
It's crazy.
You do not know who these people are. There is no identification ever anywhere.
No, and we don't.
There are no badge numbers.
There are no badges, no badge numbers. They're covering their faces. I predict that at some point there will be a story that reveals the reason that they're doing that. And it's not because they're afraid of being doxxed. Because, like, National Guard members that are, like, clashing with protesters aren't covering their faces. Police officers who are engaging in, like, aggressive behavior with journalists and protesters, they're not covering their faces. Why are these people covering their faces? You know?
Right. And also, police have badge numbers. Like, it's at least you know who you are dealing with. There can be recourse. This is shady as hell. This is some malevolent Barney Fife citizens arrest type like shit going on.
It's really crazy. And there's a part of me that's like, because they're so loosey-goosey with identifying themselves and they kind of just like are dressed in like a tactical costume. Like if you just search tactical on Amazon.
Like army surplus.
Right.
I mean, it feels like that's exactly where it's all coming from.
Exactly. There's a part of me that's like, if it wouldn't further terrorize communities, to just have a bunch of like white guys in town dress up like ICE people and like hang out in parking lots. So when ICE gets there, they're like, oh, they're already here. All right. You know, or like have the people that are in danger of being abducted by ICE put on the ICE costumes. Right. And they'll be like, hey, we got it, buddy. Like this whole Home Depot parking lot, we're all ICE guys. We're all ICE guys. I mean,
speaking of the New York primary, it was just last week, I think, that Brad Lander, who was one of the men running for and comptroller for the city of New York, was kidnapped by people who looked exactly like what you were talking about, like just sweatpants, gray T-shirts, hats on backwards.
I mean, they didn't look like they just were randomly kidnapping him, and he just asked for a warrant.
It looked like Hayes Week on Fraternity Row. I
have to say this, something that like is really infuriating to me is, so like we have Fox News on in the office, and I don't know, some people I think are able to like handle it but it was like, it like makes me sick to my stomach to hear it. Like there will be video evidence of what's happening. Like when Lander was taken into custody after asking for a warrant, like they were playing the footage on Fox News and like lying about what the footage was.
Totally.
Like and when like Senator Padilla got like tackled after identifying himself and trying to ask a question of Kristi Noem, whose face just did not move the entire time. She's just like a complete robot looking, like monster robot. There was video evidence of like what happened, you know, and like she went on Fox News to talk about it and was like describing what she said happened, and it didn't happen. And it didn't happen. They're so cocky about just being able to like weave their own reality among people. They're like, you didn't see that. That's not what you're seeing. I feel like I'm engaged in like a psychological experiment. And also, I have to say this, like, there have been rumors of ICE going around and of here's something that happened to a friend of a friend, verified.
Okay.
So she lives on the west side of LA and she has a nanny that is an Italian American, has a green card, and her husband are both from Italy. Agents, like police officers, quote unquote, showed up at their door at like 6 a.m. and said that they were looking for information about previous tenants. If that ever happens to you, whoever you are, or if you know somebody that could happen, don't let them in. Like, why are you here at 6 a.m? Why are you asking about previous tenants?
Why is this like a Giuliani no-knock warrant? Like,
these
what
people
on earth?
are like fucking they're like vampires. You haven't seen. Well, I don't want to give it away. Anyway, there's a movie recently that came out that's like about vampires, and the thing about vampires is like you have to let them in order for them.
Right. Oh, yes, I know that.
Yes. So like, I don't want to give away what the movie is because like part of the fun of the movie is discovering that it's about vampires. So it like they're literally coming up to people's doors. They can lie. They can legally lie. And they're like, they ended up like letting them in, and they questioned the people that lived there, even though they were quote unquote looking for information about previous tenants. They're like, it's really, they're awful. They're just harassing people, and it's still happening, and it's because of like Stephen Miller's dumb quota, which makes no sense. Turns out this country isn't teeming with criminals who are here without documentation. Turns out most of them are just trying to live, and like they're just, God, I really need there to be some sort of like comeuppance for ICE because it's just fucking evil shit, just evil dipshits. And that's my piece about
Scary terrorism.
it. It is. It is like a terrorism campaign against Latinos. It is a terrorism campaign against Latinos. And, like, I hate this, but, like, I go on Nextdoor sometimes because I just like to get my blood pressure up.
That's what you need.
I've seen so many people in my neighborhood. My neighborhood is about a third Filipino, a third Mexican, and a third white gentrifier. And, like, I've seen people on the Nextdoor community with, like, Hispanic last names or, like, possibly Filipino last names, since there's some overlap. Talking about, like, well, if they, if people don't want to get arrested by ICE, they shouldn't be here illegally. It's like, okay, Victor Ramirez, you think that they're going to, like, be able to tell that you're here legally? Do you think that you're like immune by siding with ICE? You think you're immune?
They're not asking for papers or documentation. This is part of the whole problem. There is no process. This is just arresting and kidnapping people who fit a specific racial profile. It is like a racist terrorism campaign. And like, I just, it's so, it fucking sucks. And it's ongoing.
The anger that I felt about this is, like, greater than the anger I felt about anything, because it's like, when things are happening far away from you, you can watch and be like, God, I'm so fucking mad about that. That sucks. But it's like, when it comes to your front door, it's a specific, different type of anger that comes with, like, the immediacy of it happening around you and to people that you know. And, like, fuck ICE. Fuck them. This is an ad by BetterHelp. Alyssa, men's mental health is something that has been very stigmatized. Yes. And just because it is something that is stigmatized doesn't mean that it's not something that is necessary. And
that's right.
As June is Men's Mental Health Awareness Month, we wanted to draw attention to that. Men face enormous pressure to perform, to provide, keep it all together. So it's no wonder that 6 million men in the U.S. suffer from depression every year, and it's often undiagnosed. It's okay to struggle. Real strength comes from opening up about what you're carrying and doing something about it, so you can be at your best for yourself and everyone in your life. If you're a man and you're feeling the weight of the world, talk to someone, anyone, a friend, a loved one, a therapist. I have to say, I'm not a man. Spoiler.
No, me neither.
Sorry. As a non-man, I did grow up in a culture and was raised by a generation of people that did not necessarily embrace mental health care or being proactive about mental health care. And as an adult, I kind of went into adulthood thinking like it was something that only weak people do. Like, oh, if you're just complaining, you just need to pay someone to listen to you complain. But like, when I started going to therapy, it really helped me notice the way I was moving through the world and notice when I was doing things that were maladaptive or harmful or not good for me and be able to like stop it instead of just like being on autopilot all the time, making the same mistakes over and over again. I mean, I'm not perfect. Nobody is. But going to therapy helped me identify what my patterns were, interrupt those patterns when I needed to, and to move forward in a more positive direction. And I strongly believe that it can help you do that too.
I agree. Same here. I do cognitive behavioral therapy, and it helps me identify my anxiety triggers.
That's a really good one. Waking up at 4 a.m. and looking at the clock is
that one I can identify pretty clearly.
Yeah, that's pretty clearly. I think 4:35. Did we identify the worst time to be awake because of anxiety in the night?
The fours are
a bad time, right? But you know what? With therapy, I realized that I should not look at my phone when that happens. I just need to go to bed.
Be quiet.
Just be quiet. Close your eyes. With over 35,000 therapists, BetterHelp is the world's largest online therapy platform, having served over 5 million people globally. And it works with an App Store rating of 4.9 out of 5 based on over 1.7 million client reviews. It's convenient, too. You can join a session with a therapist at the click of a button, helping you fit therapy into your busy life. Plus, switch therapists at any time.
As the largest online therapy provider in the world, BetterHelp can provide access to mental health professionals with a diverse variety of expertise. Talk it out with BetterHelp. Our listeners get 10% off their first month at BetterHelp.com/HysteriaPod. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/HysteriaPod.
Hysteria is brought to you by Manacora. Are you looking for something simple and delicious to add to your wellness routine?
Erin, Manacora legitimately changed my life.
It is so good.
It's so good. And it actually, I read a lot of people talking about Manacora and how it can help your gut biome. And I had a real issue with my gut biome and some reflux issues. And I started taking a teaspoon of Manacora honey twice a day. Genuinely helped.
It is so good. It's like, it doesn't even seem like it should be in a better category than the rest of the honey. And I love honey.
It's like the most special honey.
I love honey. But it is like a cut above. It is it's like creamy and rich, but the taste is sweet but not cloying.
It's not cloying. It's nice spread on a little buttered toast. It's good in tea. Like I do, straight from the container.
You know what? I have also just put it in hot water. And just drink
really?
Some, like,
yeah, well, of
hot,
course.
sweet water when I'm feeling very lazy and don't want to go get the tea. It's really, really good. You can also drizzle it on like a little dessert. You can put it in like a peanut butter
It's literally
sandwich.
for everything.
It's for everything. It's for everything. Probably not tomato sauce. I wouldn't put it on tomato sauce.
Who knows? People put a little sugar in tomato sauce.
Yes, they do. Well, you know what? I'm going to have to give it a try.
There you go.
Manacora honey is rich, creamy, and the most delicious honey you've ever had. It's ethically produced by Manacora's master beekeepers in the remote forests of New Zealand. Alyssa, new career goal for you. Master beekeeper.
We were supposed to go to New Zealand on our honeymoon.
Go steal someone's identity. Find a master beekeeper and like talented Mr. Ripley them.
And then maybe I can do Meghan Markle's bees.
Maybe. Manacora honey contains powerful nutrients to support immunity and gut health. The bees collect the nectar from the manuka tree in New Zealand. The nectar is packed with bioactives, and the honey that is produced has 3 times more antioxidants and prebiotics than your average honey.
A special antibacterial compound called MGO also comes from the nectar of the tea tree. Manacora third-party tests every single harvest for MGO and makes these results available through their QR system. It's a game changer. All you need is 1 heaped teaspoon each morning to get the most out of the amazing bioactives in manuka. Additional usage throughout the day is completely fine, especially helping to cut out other sweeteners. It's a honey with superpowers. Now it's easier than ever to try Manacora honey. Head to manacora.com/hysteria to save up to 31% plus $25 worth of free gifts with the starter kit, which comes with an MGO 850 plus manuka honey jar, 5 honey travel sticks, a wooden spoon, and a guidebook. That's manacora.com/hysteria to save 31% plus $25 worth of free gifts.
Anyway, and speaking of people who can fuck right off.
Oh, well,
like
Erin,
that segue, Alyssa?
It seems. Earlier this month, Turning Point USA, Charlie Kirk's conservative student group, hosted its 10th annual Young Women's Leadership Summit. Erin, Charlie Kirk is a 31-year-old man.
I always think we should point that out. He's a 31-year-old man being like, hey, college people.
Hey, college
Take
girls.
it from me, a man in his 30s. I know what's hip. Anyway, go on.
Well, I mean, to your point, 3,000 women in their teens and early 20s attended the summit.
Nothing weird about that.
A record for the organization. The thesis of the event seemed to be that women need to ditch any feminist ideals and get married and have baby as soon as possible, or else what, Erin? Or else sadness.
Fair. Yep, that's true.
Sadness.
Or else sadness.
At one point, Kirk addressed the crowd and asked, and this is a direct quote, "How many of you, every single day, is your purpose for finding a husband?" And he said every hand should go up.
Oh, girls, no. No.
Like, can you... I actually watched some of the Q&A that went on that I saw on Instagram. He is... This is some stuff, Erin. This is some... Like, I don't even know that Phyllis Schlafly would abide this.
I mean, it's a 31-year-old dude. Like, think about
Phyllis would be like, get out of my way.
Like, at least someone like Leonard Leo, like a money man who is very egotistical, obviously,
right.
has the foresight and the self-discipline to be like, you know what? Maybe I'm not the best spokesperson for this.
Right.
You know, and Charlie Kirk is like, me! Like,
move over.
He's like Elle Woods, like getting into Harvard. Me!
Like, it's hard.
Yeah. It's like you should shut the fuck up. But I mean, go ahead and talk, because I think that you're undermining your whole raison d'etre here. But like, what are you doing, Charlie? What are you doing?
He's making his own prom.
He's a man in his 30s telling young women how to live. Like, Anyway, sorry, I'm interrupting your spiel.
No, that was it. It's not a real spiel. That was it. You know, they had some big name speakers. They had Alex Clark. They had Brett Cooper. You know, the young women are coming out. Erin, they want to get together. They want a conference. They want to talk about being conservative and maha and making it healthy and making it hot. And I mean, you know.
Yeah, I think like this is one of the reasons why I think Democrats need to like really let their hot people talk a lot. Because there's like a lot of sexy Democrats, I think, and we need to be sexy as well. This is a controversial opinion that I have.
I was not judging the opinion. I was trying to visualize the hot people.
AOC,
sure.
Jasmine Crockett.
Yeah, okay.
We've got a couple like younger guys too. Like,
see, but I think of them as respectful.
The number one winner of votes in the Democratic primary in the NYC mayoral race, also kind of hot. I'm going to say that. I find him a little hot.
Okay.
Okay, so some of the stuff from this, the write-up of this Turning Points USA, like Charlie Kirk's Club for Upwardly Mobile Girls or whatever. Some of the quotes that really stood out to me was this. Some first-time attendees told me that they had been radicalized by the pandemic with its mask mandates, lockdowns, and what they saw as arbitrary social distancing restrictions. Quote, I want to protect female athletes. Katerina Discomo, an Oakland University chapter leader for the right-wing campus group Network for Enlightened Women, said, it did not appear to matter that transgender women make up less than 0.002% of athletes at the college level. Most of these women said they had never met a transgender person before.
Yeah,
this is a great example of, Alyssa, something that I think we should point out about a lot of like media coverage of what right-wing people say. They fucking lie about things. Like there is no
a lot.
Like you can't take them at their word. Like I do not think that Katerina Discomo wants to protect female athletes. I think that is a sentence that she's decided is something that is an okay thing to say out loud. I think underneath sentences like I want to protect female athletes is a desire to erase trans people. Like, truly, truly. Because I don't believe that she wants to protect female athletes. What sport do you play, Katerina? What sport? Did a transport? What
sport do you play? What sport do you watch? What sport do you even know the rules of?
Okay, you love women's sports so much. Like, name 4 WNBA teams and not the Indiana Fever.
Right.
What are you talking about? These people are there. This is like a line that is pre-fed to them that people in the media take and they're like, well, they just want to protect college athletes. No, they don't. It's like during the run-up to the election when people were like, well, I'm worried about the economy. It's like, you're not. You are not worried about the economy. You are using the economy as an excuse to like mask. It is your acceptable reason that you put out to mask the real reason that you don't want to vote for Kamala Harris, which is that you would rather be called racial slurs by a white man than call a black woman your boss. Like, that's it. And so this is just like, I think that we need to, when we see these statements and pieces like this, and I know that I'm off like on a tangent and I'm ranting, but when we see statements like this from people that are attending places like the Turning Point USA, people who physically traveled to another location to listen to Charlie Kirk talk about how the people there should have babies and find husbands. Girls who are in college, by the way. Like, yeah.
Right. He did. What isn't his one of the Q&As, he said that everyone there should be working to get their MRS.
Yeah.
That was one of the questions and the Q&As that happened at that
And there's also a thing that is like they're trying to kind of massage the message, which is another quote from the article. Brett Cooper, the 23-year-old YouTuber who's very popular, Cooper attempted to thread the needle in her speech. You do not have to stay at home and make sourdough starter every day, she said, comparing the trad wife aesthetic to the same black and white framework created by lean-in girl boss feminism. What? No, it didn't. This is what she said. You will fall somewhere between those two poles of stay-at-home motherhood and pursuing a career. You can build a life that is uniquely yours. Oh, wow.
Wow.
What a unique concept.
What?
Like,
does that... I'm sorry. Does that sound like feminism?
That sounds like literally feminism. And like you can, what are you doing? Like you're just.
Is she going to say you can drive a car too?
I mean, if they made cars for women, you could drive a car. Yeah, and it's like that's like the nuanced nuanced messaging. It's like, yeah, that's what we've been saying.
Just the whole.
That's literally what we've been
That's
saying. During a Q&A, this is something that like made me laugh. During a Q&A with Charlie Kirk on the last day of the summit, gotta save the fucking headliner heartthrob. God, he really wants to be in a boy band, right?
So, someone just let him do one tour with the Jonas Brothers so he can go away. It's like Stephen Miller wanted to be popular in high school and he wants to be in a boy band.
I mean, maybe one thing that would be a good use of AI would be AI kind of analyzing what these annoying right-wing men are saying and using that to construct a virtual reality experience for them that will fill the needs that they have that didn't get filled. Like, clearly Charlie Kirk wants to be in a boy band.
That's a great idea.
Ted Cruz wants to be a movie star. He wants to be like he wants to be a movie star. So can we create that experience for him without us having to participate in it? You know?
Yes, you know, it's like back in 2007, the SEIU had this thing called the Walk a Day, where all the presidential candidates had to spend a day with an SEIU worker. They should just do a Walk a Day for all of these people. It's like Ted Cruz. You get to go to a movie. You get to go to a film set. You get to pretend
you're the star.
To be submersed,
right?
You know, you'll have a chair with your name on it, and then maybe we can get on with like life.
Yes, maybe you could just get out of the Senate and live in your virtual reality world where you are a beloved
Does he still have a podcast
and charismatic movie star. I don't know. I hope not.
He does.
Anyway, so there's this Charlie Kirk, the heartthrob of this whole thing. He was asked by an attendee if Kirk, quote, could clarify what the mission of the summit is. It's a young women's leadership summit, the student said, and all the women who spoke on stage were there because they pursued a career. And a key takeaway I took from most of the speeches was that I should get married and have babies. Kirk seemed perturbed by the question. I could flip it on you. The people who have careers are telling you to have kids, he said, so maybe they know something you don't know.
What?
No, they don't have kids, so they literally don't know. They literally, there is way more they don't know.
People paid for this.
Like, people paid for this.
People paid for this.
But like a career person who doesn't have kids telling you to have kids is full of shit. Absolutely full of shit. Because there's just no, I'm going to say, I'm a career woman who has kids, and it's fucking hard. Having kids is hard, and it is not relaxing, and it is not an alternative to burnout, and it is not an alternative to working hard. And, like, honestly, I think that the pretending that having kids and, like, being a mom and staying home and being a homemaker or whatever, or focusing mainly on your kids is not a soft life. It is a hard life, and pretending that it is soft is really devaluing the labor of parenting and the labor of homemaking, because that's like legit labor. But whatever. I don't have kids, but I homemake, and my homemaking is hard work.
But
you would never like go on a stage and be like, hey,
no, I wouldn't. No, I mean,
dummies,
of course I wouldn't. I'm just saying.
Take it from me, a lady that doesn't have kids. You should have kids. Like, you wouldn't do that.
It would be absurd. It would be an absurd thing to do.
Yeah. Okay. Today,
speaking of absurd,
today is in what I would call Kim, there's people that are dying. Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez, celebrity couple Banchez. Does that work?
I love it. For me.
It sounds like, I don't know, maybe there's a better one. Banchez attempted to keep their offensively expensive wedding under wraps, but we've known since March that the couple was planning a multi-day, multi-million-dollar fete in Vegas for late June. So it should be any day now. Isn't it both of their second weddings?
Venice.
Oh. Where did I say? Oh.
You said Vegas.
Oh, Venice.
Made sense.
That would be hilarious. And I would actually, if they did their wedding in Vegas, I'd be like, you know what?
You understood yourselves.
That's actually cool. Like, I get it. It's your second wedding. No, they're having their wedding in Venice in late June, so it should be any day now. The couple already had a party for Sanchez's son's 19th birthday on a $500 million super yacht in Croatia. Wow, that 19-year-old is definitely not going to turn into some kind of fucking nightmare. The birthday party theme was foam.
This was weird.
They threw her son a foam party on her boyfriend's yacht. The foam, meaning they use soap to create a lot of bubbles to play in, which is a premise one normally associates with spring break parties linked to hepatitis B outbreaks.
Also, I'm just saying, if the party was really for her son, I don't know.
That's so weird.
She didn't dress like it was her son's birthday party.
Oh, you know what? You know Madison Humphrey on yeah. I feel like Madison Humphrey would have a fun parody version of.
I mean,
that.
Just saying.
Just putting it out there, Madison, if you're listening. Leading up to the wedding, a collage of sources have reported different details about the exact dates or places where the wedding would take place. Rumors swirl they were renting out the entire city of Venice and reserving water taxis and gondolas en masse, triggering protests under the No Space for Bezos movement. They made giant signs with his big dumb head on it. Which I, respect for the Italians. You know that something's really bad if the Italians are like, you know what? I'm going to get up and do something.
You did too far.
Yes.
Too much. I'm good.
Both city officials and the wedding planners have denied that the wedding would take over the city completely and claimed there are only 200 guests. But this isn't just any 200 guest wedding. This one is estimated to attract 95 planes to the city's small airport.
They can't carpool on their PJs. And by PJs, I mean private jets, not jammies.
I know. It's like, seriously, PJs. I like that. One banner that protesters hung up read, "If you can rent Venice for your wedding, you can pay more tax." Fair. They also threatened to fill the canals with inflatable crocodiles to block the celebrity guests from entering their originally planned venue. Protesters claimed a victory when the couple changed the location of the wedding from the Scuola Grande della Misericordia in the city center to a historic shipyard complex surrounded by fortified walls.
That sounds romantic.
What says romance more than being surrounded by impenetrable walls?
Fortified walls.
Alyssa, can money buy class?
No, it cannot. It absolutely, all weddings over $1 million prove the point.
And I feel like this cuts across cultures. Like, I'm sorry. It's ridiculous. Absolutely not. Oh my God. Ridiculous. And it's their second wedding. Both of their second weddings.
It's a come on.
I wish they were doing it in Vegas. I wish they rented out the strip. I'd be so like, funny. That is very funny. And if they really played it up and they had they actually reanimated Elvis in order to do the ceremony for them. They don't have an impersonator. They reanimated him. I also want to reflect on the fact that nobody has ever won a divorce more spectacularly than Mackenzie Scott, Jeff Bezos' first wife. Yes. Who is just flying around like Robin Hood, dropping $1 million gifts.
She's not spending money on fortified walls.
She's giving all her money away. And what's really funny to me is I think that Jeff Bezos, Sanchez, if you will, Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez are combined the two most tone deaf. Didn't read the room people. I think that they that I think exist. They are so between sending Lauren up in her little Blue Origin Barbie costume.
Look, I am no Donald Trump fan, but the inauguration outfit was just read the room.
Ridiculous.
Crazy.
And then they sent out
bustiers. Bustiers aren't for the rotunda.
No. I wish that could be our episode title. Bustiers aren't for the rotunda.
They're not for the rotunda.
I also think they released a statement that's like, hey guests, this is something that went public. Hey guests, please don't give us gifts. We're just happy you're here. We're gonna make a big donation to all these charities. And it's it would be better to just not do it at all. All those private jets flying in to celebrate your wedding, annoying the people who live in Venice. Maybe it'd be better if you didn't do it at all. I don't care if you're, and also the amount of money they're giving to Venice-related charities better be equal or greater than the amount of money they're spending on the wedding. Otherwise, it doesn't fucking matter. It
Erin,
doesn't matter.
It's just a drop in the aqueduct.
There's
nothing.
It's just so they are doing the least. And I think that they are maybe so isolated from real public opinion or deliberately so or just because of the orbit they're in. But they just don't seem to understand this doesn't do anything. This is not going to solve anything, know?
Also, is it going to make this is what I always think is so interesting about these gargantuan ostentatious weddings. Well, if you do this for your wedding, is it all downhill afterwards? What is the actual point of something this garish?
Right.
You know what I mean? Is it to just prove the point? We know how rich you are. Everybody knows. You both know how rich you both are.
You know what's funny to me is they have so much money, and Lauren Sanchez ostensibly has access to so much money. she should look like Jane Fonda. You know what I mean? Her face shouldn't be like that. She should have better,
Gorgeous.
Plastic surgery. You should be like that. That is
at least Kris Jenner.
At least Kris Jenner. Like you were like, oh girl, what are you doing? Like you were pretty.
No, it's
like
a Halloween mask.
She was plenty beautiful before she did anything. Yeah. Like she was a beautiful woman.
Seems like she and Kristi Noem share some things.
Yeah, like
some medical professionals, perhaps.
But it's like as a person who is never going to be rich, it is offensive to me when I see rich people looking that bad. I'm like, the least you can do is look better than everybody else. Like the least you can do is be pretty to me. You know, you have so much. Right. You have so much at your disposal, and it is at all of our expense. And the least you could do is be fucking pretty.
They've caricatured themselves.
I know, it's so ridiculous. Just for informational purposes, do we know what the ship-destroying Mediterranean orcas are up to over the next several days?
Oh, something tells me they're getting their Turning Point USA conference getting going.
The TP USA conference. But of orcas that destroy yachts. I would rather attend that.
I'm telling you.
I think if Charlie Kirk attended that, I'd be fine with it. I think
they're going to find a reef to restore, and then they're going to just head on in and do some damage.
Okay, final question in this Bezos segment. Given their track record for aggressive and tone-deaf, tacky gestures and actions in a world increasingly hostile to billionaires, what stunt do you predict that our beloved it couple of tone deafness will try next?
Oh God, Erin, I don't know. What could it possibly be? What's left?
I think racehorses.
Oh.
Like, and being like, oh, this is our racehorse. Like being all like,
okay.
Like, you know,
race. Okay, they're gonna make. Okay,
they're gonna.
You know what? I could see that.
They're gonna clone Secretariat and have a farm of only Secretariats, and then they're gonna be like, and Secretariatas or whatever the girl version of Secretariat is, and they're gonna be like, look at our cool farm, isn't it great what we're doing for horses? And we're all gonna be like, shut the fuck up.
Then they'll buy Ballerina Farm, and that's where they'll put all the horses, and everything will have come full
circle. They will buy Ballerina Farm and literally farm ballerinas on it.
Hysteria is brought to you by the NPR Politics Podcast.
When it comes to keeping up with what's going on in our democracy, there are good sources of information, and there are sources of information that are just going to make you scared and nervous or angry, and you're not going to have good information at the end of all of those feelings. NPR Politics Podcast is one place that you can go to get good, reliable information about what goes down in Washington and what every decision there might mean for me and for you.
And they have a great assortment of rotating hosts who come to give us the tools, Erin. They give us what we really need to know, and I find them to be exceptionally smart. Every day, the NPR Politics Podcast team will focus on one thing and boil it down to 15 minutes or less. Think of it as your political multivitamin.
Listen now to the NPR Politics Podcast, only from NPR, wherever you get podcasts. Hysteria is brought to you by Fatty 15. Alyssa, how important is healthy aging to you?
I guess it's pretty important.
I mean,
right?
You can age in a healthy way.
Right.
Not.
I mean, like,
you're gonna do it. You're gonna do it regardless.
So I'd rather be in good shape as I age. I'd like to have, things working. So I guess it's pretty important.
Yes, it's pretty important. Like, you don't want to just be like your life is limited, right? You want to be able to do
I don't want to shuffle. I want to have pep in my step.
You want to have some pep in your step. I'm so excited to share with you guys C15 from Fatty 15, the first emerging essential fatty acid to be discovered in more than 90 years. Based on over 100 studies, we now know that C15 strengthens our cells and is a key healthy aging nutrient, which helps slow biological aging at a cellular level.
In fact, when our cells don't have enough C15, they become fragile and age faster. And when our cells age, our bodies age too. This eventually led to studies finding the first new nutritional deficiency in 75 years, called cellular fragility syndrome, caused by a lack of the C15. As many as 1 in 3 people worldwide have low C15 levels and cellular fragility syndrome. To help fix cellular fragility syndrome and further support healthy aging, a team of doctors working in collaboration with the U.S. Navy spent over a decade to develop the optimized and bioavailable C15 ingredient in Fatty 15. Thankfully, Fatty 15 repairs age-related damage to cells, protects them from future breakdown, and activates pathways in the body that help regulate our sleep, cognitive health, and natural repair mechanisms that support our overall health.
Best of all, Fatty 15 comes in a gorgeous reusable glass bamboo jar, and the refills are shipped right to your door. I gotta say, when it comes to managing my own health, simpler is better, easier is
Definitely.
better. Shipping it to my door, putting it in a refillable pack, like hand it to me. Yes.
Yes, just make it easy.
Exactly. And Fatty 15 makes it easy. Fatty 15 is on a mission to optimize your C15 levels to help support your long-term health and wellness, especially as you age. You can get an additional 15% off their 90-day subscription starter kit by going to fatty15.com/hysteria and using code hysteria at checkout. Alyssa, do you want to go first? Sanity Corner or feeling petty this week?
It's a little Sani because I was so excited last week when I sat my tush on my sofa to watch Dallas Cowboy Cheerleaders to try for yet another season to do Thunderstruck, which I can't do. It's their dance. But I love it. And I get up and I try to pretend to do it, but I always feel sad because these women work like 10 jobs to be able to do it. Except, Erin, the show took a turn this year. Mm-hmm. And I give the Dallas Cowboys and cheerleaders, whoever's actually in charge of the decisions of what gets to be in the show and what doesn't, they chronicled the journey of these women to be paid more. Okay. And it was exceptional. And it was we got to follow along on some of the Zooms where the sort of lead organizers would bring information back after meeting with the heads of the Cowboys. And we found out at the end, it was the news broke, and it was also in the last episode of the series that they got a 400% pay raise.
Okay.
They fought and they won.
So how much do they make now?
$75 an hour.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah. I mean, that's pretty. I mean, they were making 15.
That's crazy.
But like you could show at the beginning, so there's sort of an interesting arc that you watch this time when they started off the season. They were showing us all of the perks that the cheerleaders get when they become cowboy cheerleaders. It's like, and here's the hair extensions. Like there's a whole day that they go to where they're introduced to all of the sponsorship stuff that they have access to, which I think was trying to soften us up in the event that they didn't get anything at the end. But it's like, look at the free tans, look at the clothes, look at all this. And I was picking up what they were, I figured what they were doing. Yeah. But at the end, and the thing that was, I think the most heartening, I think Caroline and I share a favorite character in Jada, is that the women who fought the hardest were the women who were never going to benefit from it. They were all the 5th and 6th year veterans who were just doing it for all of the rookies and the other players or other cheerleaders. And I just thought it was fucking great.
Oh, well, I don't watch that show because I don't.
Okay.
I can't get over my disdain for the Dallas Cowboys as an organization. I don't know. I feel like there's this kind of, I just absorbed it by osmosis. I just don't like the Cowboys, and I don't.
Totally fair.
And it's weird, but I have heard that the show is really good, and the next time
the Cowboys get no play.
Good.
It's only they only show and actually they have such bad seasons that you're always just sad for the girls that they're better than the players are.
That's fair, and I can support that 100%. And actually, I have some friends that watch it, and including you, who say it's a really good show. I'm just waiting until I have a gap in my escapist media diet. Right now, okay, this is my Sani Petty this week.
Okay.
Right now I'm watching Love Island USA.
Okay.
I feel like I am one of those. Have you ever seen a hamster on a wheel and they trip and fall and they go all the way around the wheel?
Yep.
I feel like there's so much content. I'm running to keep up. I gotta watch tonight. They're going to Casa Amore and it's gonna get spoiled if I don't watch it right away. Over the weekend, I was literally, because I started late. They put shows out every day of the week except Wednesday, and so
wow,
yeah, so
that's a lot of episodes.
It is so much content. It is really hard for me to have work-life Love Island balance in my life, because it's I was literally holding my phone while I'm watching my kid, so because they really waste your time in the show. They take forever to announce things, and all the challenges take way too long, and I don't really care to see. There was this one challenge where they were spitting milk in each other's mouths, and I was I don't care to see this. So
that's gross.
But I had it playing so that I could hear it in case something interesting happened, right? But it was it's so much content, but right now that is what I need. I need a content to drown me. I need content that is like, remember the like being inside a bag of Skittles, you know? It's like I shouldn't be here. This isn't good for me. I'm not going to feel good about this like when I'm all done with it, but I'm like just swimming in this bag of Skittles. And like I have a few thoughts, right? This year there is a character that is named Huda that is like really divisive. Now, no spoilers, guys. I'm not totally caught up. And they're entering Casa Amore, which is this whole little thing. Anyway, this character named Huda, who is one of the most emotionally abusive people I've like ever seen on TV.
Oh, no.
And there is like a group of Huda apologists who are like, yes, queen, like go get your man, like blah, 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 blah. But like the way that she acted toward her first connection on the island and like the way that she yelled at him and became unhinged when things started kind of going sideways, it's like terrifying. I don't know, like it is cluster B vibes, like she's very sinister. And she's very pretty, and she's very good at twerking. But she's
twerking,
like
they still do that, huh?
Oh my God, they had a twerking competition. They had a twerking.
That was
they could all twerk.
Very 10 years ago.
No, they're all twerking still, and some of them are very good at it, including Huda. But like, I just want to say that like part of this is maybe more of like an insanity corner, because like the fact that there are that many people defending the way that she acted is just like crazy to me. If a man acted like that, he would be like sent home and canceled forever. It's good TV. It's good TV if you just want to watch something that you're like, oh, I don't know if this should be filmed. Like, but okay. It's crazy.